Your mission statement makes you the leader of your own life. You create your own destiny and secure the future you envision. It's this abundance mentality that is so important for creating success. It's because most people listen with the intent to reply, not to understand. If I can go there in the mind, I can go there in the body. One thing that's absolutely important to creating an innovation is diversity. Golden nugget number 1, be proactive. Your life doesn't just happen. Whether you know it or not, it's carefully designed by you and the choices you make. You choose to be happy. You choose to be sad. You choose to make fast decisions and stick to them. You choose to waver on your decisions. You choose success, you choose failure, you choose courage, you choose fear. Just remember that every moment, every situation provides you an opportunity to make a brand new choice in your life. And when you do that, it gives you a perfect opportunity to do things differently to produce more positive results. So being proactive is about taking responsibility for your life. You can't keep blaming everything on your parents or on your grandparents, on your siblings. Proactive people recognize that they are what Covey calls response-able. They don't blame genetics, circumstances, conditions, or conditioning for their behavior. They know they choose their behavior. Reactive people, on the other hand, are often affected by their physical environment. They find external sources to blame for their behavior. If the weather is good, they feel good. If the weather is crap, they feel like crap. All of these external forces that are outside of our mind, that are outside of our control, they act as stimulus that we respond to. Now, between the stimulus and the response is your greatest power. You have the freedom to choose your response. One of the most important things you choose is what you say. Your language is a good indicator of how you see yourself. A proactive person uses proactive language. I can, I will, I prefer, and so on and so forth. A reactive person uses reactive language. I can't, or I have to, or if only. Reactive people believe they are not responsible for what they say and do. They don't have a choice. Instead of reacting to or worrying about conditions over which they have little to no control, proactive people focus their time and their energy on things that they can control. The problems, challenges, and opportunities we face all fall into two areas: the circle of concern and the circle of influence. Proactive people, they focus their efforts, their time, their energies on the circle of influence. They work on the things they can do something about: their health, their children, their parents, problems at work. Reactive people, on the other hand, they focus the majority of their efforts in the circle of concern, things that have very little control over. When you gain an awareness of the areas that you spend most of your energy, that's how you can make the first step in becoming a proactive person. Golden nugget number 2 is based on imagination, the ability to envision in your mind which you can't at present time see with your eyes. It's based on the principle that all things are created twice. There's the mental creation, which is first, and then the second, which is physical creation. The physical creation follows the mental just as a building follows a blueprint. If you don't make a conscious effort to visualize who you are and what you want in life, then you empower other people and other circumstances around you to shape you and your life by default. And you don't want to do that. You want to be in control. It's about connecting again with your own uniqueness and then defining the personal, moral, and ethical guidelines within which you can most happily express and fulfill yourself. Begin with the end in mind means to begin each day, each task or each project, each relationship with a clear vision of your desired direction and destination, and then continue by flexing your proactive muscles to make things happen. Golden nugget number 3, put first things first. To live a more balanced life, you have to recognize that not doing everything that comes along, it's okay. There's no need to overextend yourself. All it takes is realizing that it's all right to say no when necessary and then focus on your highest priorities. Habit 1 says, you're in charge, you're the creator. Being proactive is about choice. Habit 2 is the first, or mental creation, beginning with the end in mind. It's all about vision. Habit 3 is the second creation, the physical creation. This habit is where habits 1 and 2 come together. It happens day in and day out, moment by moment. It deals with many of the questions addressed in the field of time management. But that's not what it's all about. Habit 3 is about life management as well. Your purpose, values, roles, and priorities. What are first things to you? Golden nugget number 4. Think win-win. Now, think win-win, it's not about being nice, and it's definitely not a quick fix technique. It's a character-based code for human interaction and collaboration. Most of us learn to base our self-worth on comparisons and competition. We think about succeeding in terms of someone else failing. That is, if I win, you lose. And if you win, I lose. With this type of thinking, life becomes a zero-sum game. There's only so much pie to go around, and if you get a big piece, there's going to be less for me. It's not fair. We all play the game, but how much fun is it really? Win-win sees life as a cooperative arena, not a competitive one. Win-win is a frame of mind and heart that constantly seeks mutual benefit in all human interactions. Win-win means agreements or solutions are mutually beneficial and satisfying. A person or organization that approaches conflicts with a win-win attitude possesses 3 vital character traits. Integrity, sticking with your true feelings, values, and commitments. Maturity, expressing your ideas and feelings with courage and consideration for the ideas and feelings of others. And finally, abundance mentality, believing there is plenty to go around for everyone. To go for win-win, you not only have to be empathetic, but you have to also be confident. You not only have to be considerate and sensitive, you also have to be brave. To achieve that balance between courage and consideration is the essence of real maturity and is fundamental to this win-win philosophy. Golden nugget number 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Communication is the most important skill in life. You spend years learning how to read, how to write, and years learning how to speak. But what about listening? What training have you had that enables you to listen so you really, deeply understand another human being? Probably none, right? If you're like most people, you probably seek first to be understood. You want to get your point across. And in doing so, you may ignore the other person completely, pretend that you're listening, selectively hear only certain parts of the conversation, or focus only on the words being said, not the meaning of the words. So why does this happen? It's because most people listen with the intent to reply, not to understand. You listen to yourself as you prepare in your mind what you're going to say next, the questions you're going to ask, etc., etc. You filter everything you hear through your life experiences and through your frame of reference. You check what you hear against your autobiography and see how it measures up. And consequently, you decide prematurely what the other person means before he or she finishes communicating. Golden nugget number 6. Synergize. Now, put simply, synergy means 2 heads are better than 1. Synergize is the habit of creative cooperation. It's teamwork, open-mindedness, and the adventure of finding new solutions to old problems. But it doesn't just happen on its own. It's a process. And through that process, people bring all their personal experience and expertise to the table. Together, they can produce far better results that they could not do individually. Synergy lets us discover jointly things we are much less likely to discover by ourselves. It's the idea that the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. When people begin to interact together genuinely, and they're open to each other's influence, they begin to gain new insight. Do you truly value the mental, emotional, and physiological differences among people? Or do you wish everyone would just agree with you so you could all just get along? Differences should be seen as strengths, not weaknesses. They add zest to life. Last but certainly not least, golden nugget number 7. Sharpen your saw. Now, sharpen the saw means preserving and enhancing the greater asset you have, you. It means having a balanced program for self-renewal in the 4 areas of your life: physical, social, emotional, mental, and spiritual. Now, here are some examples of different activities. Physical, beneficial eating, exercising, and resting. Social, emotional, making social and meaningful connections with others, friends, family. Mental, learning, reading, writing, teaching. Spiritual, spending time in nature, expanding spiritual self through meditation, music, art, prayer, or service. As you renew yourself in each of the 4 areas, you create growth and change in your life. Sharpen the saw keeps you fresh so you can continue to practice the other 6 habits. You increase your capacity to produce and handle the challenges around you when you sharpen your saw. Without this renewal, the body becomes weak, the mind mechanical, emotions raw, the spirit insensitive, and the person selfish. Feeling good, it just doesn't happen. Feeling good is something you have to work on. Living a life in balance means taking the necessary time to renew yourself. Again, it's all up to you. It's all in your circle of influence. It's something you control. You can renew yourself through relaxation, or you can totally burn yourself out by overdoing everything. Just remember that every day provides a new opportunity for renewal, a new opportunity to recharge yourself instead of hitting the wall. All it takes is the desire, knowledge, and skill to know how to do it.